Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Since the Nintendo 2 was announced today, the price, the release date, and all of that kind of good stuff, I thought today would be a good day to take a look at the Goodsmile Company FIGMA Link from the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. If Saturday morning cartoons fueled your imagination as a kid and powers your action figure collecting now as an adult, then you're in the right place. Thanks for stopping by and welcome to Saturday Morning Toy Collector. And if you like my content, please consider subscribing. Okay, this is a big box. This box is way bigger than I expected. You can see how thick it is. On the side here, we have some nice artwork on this side of Link from behind. Just the name here. We have the FIGMA, Max Factory, and Masaki Aspie action figure series. FIGMA, Max Factory, Aspie. Is that what FIGMA stands for? I don't know. That's weird. I didn't know that. Goodsmile Company. Nice artwork here. Officially licensed by Nintendo. We've got Link, Tears of the Kingdom. Did I call this in the opener? I think I called this Breath of the Wild 2. It's Tears of the Kingdom. That is Breath of the Wild 2, but I didn't call it by its regular name. Here on the back, you can see, everything he comes with, a bunch of poses and stuff, 626DX. And then here we have a slipcover, so you can see, man, this is a lot of stuff. This is going to take a while. This is going to be a big one, guys. Hang in there. Tears of the Kingdom. This is the DX version that comes with extra stuff. I don't know what extra stuff it comes with. I just knew that I didn't want to miss out on the extra stuff. Officially licensed by Nintendo. You almost can see everything through this little window, but he's covered up quite a bit. Oh, we do have some new artwork up here with the cape and the arm. Another shot right there, looking really nice, and then some additional photography here of everything it comes with. It says ages 15 and up. It says that right there as well. Some more artwork there on the bottom. But, man, we've got a lot to get through, so let's get this guy opened up and take a closer look at everything he comes with. Okay, starting off with the smaller stuff, we do get a little Figma, little folded piece in here. It's got a couple of figures that they have for offer here. There's Ganon right there. Looks really cool. Is that Princess Zelda? I believe so. And then some other stuff right here. I'm not sure. It's just showing off detail. We also get a really cool Figma base where you can put the post anywhere you want. It's got a nice little, very sturdy articulated arm on it. Of course, get the Figma bag, which is really cool because it's lots of parts and pieces to keep up with. And most importantly, it comes with an instruction guide, which is very robust. There's a lot of stuff here, and I highly recommend going through it because there was a lot of parts in here that I was like, I have no idea what this is and how does this work, and there's a lot. Okay, so there are two versions of this figure. There's the regular release and the DX release. I'm going to put up a graphic right now to show you guys what is different in the two. This is the deluxe release. It comes with a lot of extra stuff. So I'm using this graphic that I found on Big Bad Toy Store because that is where I ordered this from. That shows what's different between the two. So I'm going to break this up into showing you what Link comes with in the regular release, and then all the extra stuff that he comes in with this set. So starting off, the first thing I do want to make notice of is that the figure itself comes with this arrow pack on him, whether you get the regular release or the DX release. It is made onto the belt. It does not look to be removable. You could cut it and then glue it, I guess, if you wanted to take it off and put it back on for some reason. But this is on the figure, even on the regular release, which doesn't come with the bow. So you're going to get this quiver and arrows no matter what. So just wanted to point that out. So with both releases, you are going to get the extra face plates. So a more smiling face, a more screaming and, you know, sort of like yelling "Hi-ya" face. And then the face that comes on him is just a very stoic, you know, looking face out of the package. You are going to get this little baggie, which has like a little connector piece for the stand, and then 2 extra wrist pegs, one that's brown, one that's gray, depending on which hand you put these on. Let's see. Next up, you are going to get like a grasping, sort of like fingers open, splayed out hand on the figure. This is for his damaged arm that he has in the game. And then he does have a sword wielding hand on the left. Or is this a punching fist? This is a punching fist on his left. And so in the package, you're also going to get a left hand holding the sword, because as we all know, Link is left-handed. We also get a sword holding hand for the damaged arm, so we have that as well. And then we get a splayed out open hand for the left hand. You're also going to get the Master Shield, the Hyrulean Shield here, which looks really cool. The paint apps throughout everything on this figure are spectacular, second to none. Like this is one of the most detailed, best painted figures I've ever seen. Like, it is incredible. And then what you have here on the back is you have the ability to make this a left-handed or a right-handed shield. So, you know, Link does carry this in his right arm, slashes with his left, but if you wanted to change it and make it like it is now with the right hand holding the shield, you can. Both of these pieces are removable. I would just say be very careful in removing them, and then you can move this over here. But this strap is also removable because there's a little piece we're going to put right there in the middle. I'm going to show you what that's for. And then each one of these pieces also comes apart because the hands are too tight, and the fingers they're not very pliable, so you do need to pull every single thing apart and feed it through. The sword, the hand, everything, the bow, everything. Pull it apart, put it back through the hand. That's how that works. This little piece that goes here, you're going to get one of these. You're going to get 2 of these in the Deluxe, and because one is different, it holds the bow, and then you're going to get this piece. And the reason that this is here is you plug it in right there. You actually remove this little piece here from the inside, and then this piece clips onto the sword scabbard so that you can hold the shield and the sword on his back. So that's what this little plastic clip is right here, and I don't know if it's going to scratch. I've put it on and taken it off a few times. I don't see any paint rub, so so I would just be careful there. But yeah, that's what that little plastic piece is for, and we're going to go ahead and put this back on for right now, because we probably won't see this again until we start posing the figure towards the end. And then we're going to take a nice look at the Master Sword sheath, or the scabbard here. You can see the Triforce right there, front and back. Looks really nice. And then here is the Master Sword itself. Has a nice like blue dusting on the blade. Looks really nice. You can see the Triforce logo right there. Looks great. And of course this does. Where does this pull apart? There we go. It comes off at the hand guard because you'll feed that through the wrist. Please do not try to open the fingers and put this in the hand. And then it slides in very nice, and it's not tight at all. Even like it does stay in there. It clicks in really well, but like through here, it would probably slide out. But it does tighten in there really nicely. And then you get the hood, which is really cool. Now, I thought he actually in the DX came with the hood up, but I guess he does not. I don't know why I thought that, but this is really cool because I've never seen this before. It has a little plastic. So this top part right here is like a harder plastic. And then the cape itself is a very soft, pliable plastic. Not plastic, sorry, fabric, soft, pliable fabric. And it looks really nice. The printing on there is very nice. But there is a little piece right here on the back that you'll want to remove and slide out. And what this is for, let's pop his head off. Let's put this piece on, and I'll put that piece right there, pop the head back on, and you can see how the hood looks on the figure. And then what you're going to want to do is where that hole is and that little plastic tab, it lines up with the hole in his back, and you can press this in and peg it into his back, and so that it stays pretty. Yeah, there we go. And then that has a hole that you can use for the Master Sword. So, but of course you'd have to hang the cape over it. So that's what that is for. So you can still put the cape in, and that just kind of lowers the peg. It moves the peg hole from his back from here down to here a little bit to get the sword a little bit lower so that you have more clearance for the hood over there. And that is it. That is everything he comes with in the basic package. And you are going to get one of these little hand trees to put all the hands on in the package. But if you get the deluxe version, you're going to get 2 extra hands not available in the regular. You're going to get this pointing finger hand, which is really cool. And then you're going to get this hand for his damaged arm. And what this is your arrow drawing hand. So he's going to hold the bow with his left hand, and you can put the arrow in this hand. And here is the arrow that you get. It's very nice. It looks very much like the arrows here. It does not fit in this quiver at all, so you cannot fit that in. But it has a very tiny little plastic tip on the end. And what you want to do is there's a little hole right here between the first finger and the index finger and the middle finger. And it just, gosh, you want to be so careful, because not only is the shaft of the arrow thin, but these little feathers on here are very thin, but it plugs into the hand, so that's how it holds the arrow. So that's what you that's the extra hands you get. This is really cool, and this is, you know, something that I kind of wish came on the figure with the standard version. But if you get the DX version, you get an extra arm here that doesn't have the gauntlet on. You can see all of the power up effects and the torn and damaged sleeve and mail. And this is this plugs in. This is just like I think it's like a little extender that keeps the hole opened up in travel, and you'll definitely want to like pull that out. But you could also put this arm underneath this sleeve if you wanted. I'm assuming it would work the same, and you can put that in there, and so you can sort of like mix and match you know, arms and sleeves on that right arm. But we're going to put that back in just to keep all that in place. Next up, we do get a secondary shield. We get, I forgot what this shield is called in the game, but one of the more rustic shields. Same thing, you can swap the handles around as you need be. And then you have a little space there again, so you can put this and have this shield click onto the sword. But this shield has another little extra feature, this little piece right here, and it is kind of hard. And I even have fingernails, and it's kind of hard, but it's in there really well. But what you want to do is you want to pull this little centerpiece out, and you have a little hole. And I'm going to show you what that hole is for in just a second. So we're going to leave that right there. Next up, we're going to be getting his construct bow. It looks really nice, again, nicely painted, and this is very, very beautiful. Now I need to look, because I'm not sure how you are supposed to, I need to look in the instructions to see if this comes apart any. Let me do that real quick and come back. Okay, so there is no way to pull this apart. This pointing finger, which I just assumed was a pointing finger, is actually the bow hand. And these fingers are very pliable, as you can see. And so this is the only hand that you'll want to like kind of pry the fingers away and then put this hand in like that. And so you can see that he uses his pointer finger, his index finger, to kind of like hold the bow. So that's how that works. I was like, oh, I don't see how this comes apart. But these are the only fingers that are pretty pliable. You know, like this hand right here, the fingers are not very pliable. They're a lot sturdier and stiffer. You definitely don't want to go messing around with that. There's no string or anything like that. And then this is how it looks with the arrow. And we're gonna get this guy into a lot of poses. The posability of this guy is crazy. The next thing that we have, speaking of the bow, is we have this piece. So this is the piece that comes with the standard version. This is the piece that comes with the bow with the DX version, and this is for holding the bow. Now, how this works is you click this onto the scabbard, and then the bow like plugs on like that. So you can have the bow on the back, and you can also do it the other way too if you wanted to clip it on this way and then have the bow facing the other way. You can have it like that as well. So that is for holding the bow. Again, I saw these pieces. I was like, I have no idea what does all this do? Another weapon that he has in the DX version is another fusion. He has fused a rock with a stick, and it has this nice like curvature to it. This is a very hollow piece, so it doesn't weigh a whole lot. So like I'm hoping it doesn't weigh his hand down when he holds it. We're going to see how that goes. This is kind of like a hollow piece that's been put together. That's kind of neat. And then he has this nice rocket construct that he has created here. And it's got a little hole in the end, and it has this very nice like blast effect. So you can plug this in right there and have it blasting off. It's very nicely detailed and painted. The colors are beautiful. The gold and this kind of like muted mint green just looks absolutely great. This is really cool. And this little peg right here is to plug into the shield. So you can plug this and you now have a rocket shield to help him blast off into the air or travel long distances. So you can have it, you know, like that. You can pose it like that, or you can have it lifting him off in the air like they show on the box. We're going to get to this. We're going to show this off in one of the poses towards the end. Do not worry. Then the next thing he has is he has this little teleportation effect where he can sort of like fuse through things like mountains and stuff. So let me get this guy. He is sort of designed to pop apart at the waist. He just comes apart at the waist, and then you can just plug him into this if you wanted to have him like, you know, sort of like phasing through like the ground or the wall, you know, or, you know, a rock or something like that. So that's really cool that they thought to add that. I'm not sure who is going to display their figure like this, but it's really cool that, you know, they had something like this to add in for the deluxe version. Next up, the biggest thing he comes with is his glider, and this thing is glorious. It is so beautifully painted. It has all these little tassels and bone pieces on here, which is great. The printing looks great right here. There's actually a little sort of design around the edge, which is kind of hard to see unless you get it at a certain angle. There's some wood, stone, and bone. And then he actually has two hands that are made onto the glider. So as you can see, they have little plastic pieces in here that are holding the holes open, but those are removable, and then you just plug the hands in. Instead of trying to make him hold on to it, they just sculpted the hands, and I think that's a brilliant way to do this. Now you see these two little holes right here. He does come with two little streamers, and these just sort of like plug right in, and I want to be careful because they kind of feel like I may break them, so I want to be very, very careful with plugging these in. And you can sort of like, let's get this plugged in. Let's see if we can, I may have to heat this up because I'm afraid I may break it. But once you get them in, they kind of hang off like that. You can position them up in the air or down below, which is pretty cool. I'm glad that they added that, and they're just very simple little pieces, but I want to be careful and not break them. But yeah, that is all of the accessories that come with the deluxe version. And here is Link as he comes straight out of the package with all the little plastic pieces kind of removed from all of his little joints. He's very well protected in this box. And you can see just as he comes, this is him just standing straight up and down. No extra parts and pieces on him. I don't think that shoulder pad is removable. We do have the hands and, of course, the arm, the right arm that we can swap out. And, of course, the belt is also not removable. I did not know that. It looked like it's a separate piece. It is a separate piece that's glued on, but it is not removable. He's actually a lot larger than I expected him to be. We're going to do some size comparisons here in a bit, but he is a full 6-inch scale. I mean, he looks like he's a full 6 inches. I was expecting it to be a little smaller. I have a couple of Figma Links, and I mean, one of them is Toon Link from Wind Waker, but of course, that figure is designed to be small, but I haven't bought a Figma in a while. I've come close to buying the Assassin's Creed Valhalla figure, and Ivor, I think is his name, and I really want to get him, and I think this link is going to cause me to get that figure because I had him on pre-order before and I just kind of like let it go, but I think I'm going to pick him up because this is a really nice, very well articulated, very detailed figure, and if this is the game they're kind of bringing, I want that Assassin's Creed figure for sure. But yeah, Link is looking great. This is a fantastic looking figure. I cannot wait to get him off the base and take a closer look at all the really cool stuff that we can do with this guy. All right, diving into this figure here, let's take a closer look at some of the detail here. And yeah, just looking at that shoulder pauldron, it does not come off. It is made onto that figure on the shoulder. And it does limit how far you can push that arm. It can only go up about that far. And his other arm can go up just a little bit further than that. That is going to get in the way. Yeah, it does. It hits, it runs. Well, having the head on there, does the head hinder that at all? Yeah, it does hinder it a little bit. It does kind of get in the way, yeah, for sure. But you can get it up about that far. It's not going up much further. Let's use this arm since it is hindered the most. It can go all the way around like that, go up and down. It does have a little shoulder swivel, just like that. This arm can go up. You have to like tuck it in. You can tuck it in right underneath that part. It can go up. If you do it like that, you can actually get the arm to go up really high. If you want to have like him reaching over his head, holding up his sword or something, you certainly could. As far as swapping out the arm, oh, look at that drop down, dude. I did not know that butterfly did that. That's crazy. But of course, he can reach across his chest a little bit. He's got that nice butterfly to where he can do that. And then as far as like leaning back, pulling backwards, he can pull back that far, which is really cool. You do have, is there a rotation there? No, there isn't. We have double jointed pinless elbow, which is really cool. Is there rotation at the gauntlet? No, there isn't. And then a ball joint and hinge right here on this arm. And then let's see here. How do we just kind of like pull, where do we pull from? There we go. We just pull straight down. And like I said, let's see. Does this piece, is this a secondary piece? Yes, it is. So if you wanted to keep, you know, the torn look on this arm, you could. If you wanted to slide that look off and put this one on, I'm pretty sure you can. I don't think there's going to be an issue there, even though these do look. Is the hinge longer? Nope, they're the exact same size from where the hinge is. So, you know, if you wanted to have the good looking sleeve with the arm, you could, but let's put the torn sleeve back on there so we can get that arm and sleeve to line up, and then just slide the arm in, and then this is what he looks like. Let's go ahead and pull this hand off. So you can see he's got the shirt and then the gauntlet and the glove right here. Let's go with this arm because it kind of matches this hand. This is the I don't know, the phantom or the spirit arm that he gets, and that looks kind of cool. I kind of dig it with that look. I'm liking it. The paint on the chest is really good. You can see that this is a sculpted on piece, or is that a secondary piece that was glued? I can't tell. And this is a secondary piece that is glued on, but this piece looks like it was sculpted too. So you've got this really nice like diaphragm crunch that can move and bobble and get all kinds of range of motion. But right here, where you pull the figure apart, you can see that there is an additional articulation point right here. So, you know, you couple all of that movement together, and you can get him to bend forward that far, and you can get him to lean back that far, which is very, very nice. I'm digging it. There's a nice split on the sides of the armor, so you can get the, oh, I see. If you push too far, then so you're limited to about that far out. The legs can go that. Oh, and there is a very generous drop down, very generous. So you can kick all the way forward. You have double jointed knees, pinless knees. Looks great. You do have a thigh swivel at the very top, hidden underneath the tunic. Legs can go back. If we got that out of the way, he could go almost all the way back and kick his own butt. Do we have no boot swivel? We do have a foot swivel down here. It does look like a forward-facing pin. You can rock up and down, and you do get that little bit of pivot side to side. And then we have toe articulation, but I like that the toe is very stiff, so you can use it or not use it. It's not going to flop around. And boy, does he look great! Now let's look at this head here and see how does this work. I believe we just pull this front piece of hair off, like so. It's very well attached, and then what we can do here is we can now pull this faceplate off. Man, I don't know how this is supposed to work for people who don't have fingernails, because it's in there really tight. So let's put, so these two faceplates are pretty similar. You can see that one's a little more stern. This one's a little more stern. This one is a little more pleasant, but they're very similar. I think I would have loved like a different look, maybe like a quizzical look might have been nice. But let's put the one that's a little different, the yelling face. Put that on and then slide the hairpiece back on. And now we have his face swapped out. And then head can look up all the way, can look down all the way. You've got 2 points of articulation here, so you're going to get all the range of movement that you could possibly want for this guy. And yeah, this is just pretty good. It looks like, yeah, it looks like this shoulder pad is connected to this shoulder pad, because it does give a little bit of movement, unless I've loosened it up a little bit, which, man, I really hope I haven't. But yeah, he moves great. This is really, really cool. I love the nice painted detail here on the chainmail around the bottom of his tunic. The his batteries that are all charged and all filled, and this is quite the task to do if you're playing the game. I haven't 100% the game, but I've gotten pretty close. I do have all of my batteries filled up green, and then all of my batteries filled up blue. Does it go blue first then green, or is it green first then blue? I can't remember, but I have them filled up both times, so I hardly ever run out of batteries. And then you have the very nice colors here on the quiver. Man, he just looks, so this is such a beautiful color palette that they went with here, and it is very, very nice, and I'm digging it. So I'm going to off camera get him set up with his sword and shield, and then maybe the bow, and then we'll just go into some size comparisons. And there you have it. I will say that everything coming apart and like pegging everything in, it is a little finicky, but honestly, I would rather it be finicky than me feel like I'm going to break something that I've paid like $150 for. You understand? I mean, like, I'd rather it be, let's rather be safe than sorry. I mean, I think after the initial couple of weeks of me having this guy and leaving him on my desk to, play around with him and pose him before I move him to his permanent home, or more permanent home on my shelf, after that, I'm just going to put him in a position and just leave him on my shelf. But yeah, I'd rather it be finicky than broken, I guess. But yeah, man, this guy just looks really, really cool. And I don't want to like get into too many poses here, because we're going to do that at the end. So let's just go ahead and take a look at some size comparisons with this guy and see how he stacks up. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put him up on his base, because some of the figures that I'm going to be putting out here have bases. So I kind of want it to be as like, as accurate as possible. But, like if we wanted to compare him to, say, your standard like 6-inch scale, like Marvel Legends, like with Daredevil here, you can see he's pretty head to head with that. I don't have a base for Ayla Secura, and she is a female, but with Star Wars Black Series, you can see that he's standing pretty good. With, if she would stand pretty good, that would be great. You see he's standing fairly nicely and with that scale. So if you have Black Series or you have Marvel Legends, then these guys are gonna, Link is gonna be about that size. I do have a few others. So let's go ahead and bring in, we have Tigra from Super 7, Thundercats line, no base, he's a little bit taller. And then we have a Animal Warriors of the Kingdom, Chunari figure here. You can see he's smaller than both of those, even without bases, because they are that true, like, 6-inch scale. And then a couple others, we do here have a Valaverse figure on a base, and then we have an Operation Monster Force Delta Red figure here on a base, and you can see how he stacks up with them. And then let's get this guy out of the way, because one last comparison, I do have a Mezco Rumble Society Pink Skull, and he's, scales pretty well with that. So let's get these guys out of the way, get him in some poses on the rotating base, and see how awesome this guy poses up. I gotta tell you, this figure is incredible. I mean, if you're wondering why is this 6-inch scale figure $150, and which, by the way, I gotta tell you, that's pretty much my cutoff. I can't bring myself to spend $200 on a 6-inch figure. I really can't. 150 is pretty much the most expensive 1/6 figure I've probably ever bought, is this figure. And if you're wondering why, it's because of everything I've shown you. It's why this video is almost 30 minutes long, or 35 minutes long, is he comes with so much stuff, so many hands, so many facial expressions, so many accessories, so many weapons, so many ways to display this guy, that you would need 10 to 15 of this guy just to display him in every single possible way that you could. The accessories are extremely well crafted. The paintwork is exquisite. The articulation is amazing. What they chose to send him with along, what he comes with is pretty cool. Man, I really honestly can't think of anything else I would rather have other than like maybe a hooded head. But I mean, I really don't know if there's anything else I would have added to this collection. It is pretty much everything you would want in a Tears of the Kingdom figure. And he is absolutely exquisite. I can't express to you how amazing this guy feels in hand, how smooth he moves, how well the joints work together, and how everything is just kind of seamless. It's just a very beautifully well-made figure, and he has really, really made me regret not buying the Assassin's Creed Figma figure before now. So this guy has enabled me to go and get another Figma. I would say that be very careful when you are putting the hands and everything together on the glider. There's some very thin wooden pieces that you want to make sure, well, they're plastic, but they're sculpted to look like wood. You want to be very careful that you don't break those, and you want to make sure that you don't break the little tassels that come off the end. And just be very careful when putting the shields, putting them on and taking them off, because it can be a little finicky. But yeah, I mean, once you do it, you can get it into some really nice poses. So let me know in the comments down below. Did you guys get this version? Did you get the regular version? The regular version's now sold out on Big Bad Toy Store. I think it was like $90. It seems like it's sold out now, but we just have this one left at $150. So head over and check it out if it's something that you're interested in. You could probably find it cheaper overseas at some overseas sites if it's not sold out. So thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. I super appreciate it. Please continue to check us out over at Instagram at Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I am your Saturday Morning Toy Collector, Mark, and I will see you in the toy aisles.